Meet the dance sports. From ballroom dancing to the samba, pole dancing to the victory dance. You can be a cheerleader or a badass. There are many forms of dancing, and many dance to win. All you need to do is move your feet, perhaps swing your hips a little, but no matter how good or bad, you can't outdance the truth. Dancing has been a part of civilization for thousands of years, with first traces connecting dance to cultural rituals and ceremonies. Dating back even further is the history of sport, with wrestling and sprinting the first known disciplines, depicted in cave paintings found in France more than 15,000 years ago. Over time, it only became a natural evolution that sport, as defined by the Oxford Dictionary, an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment, would include the rhythmical movement of dance. And like any sport, there is often a dress code. But when you add music to the mix, there's the license to be a little more creative. Sometimes you can wear just about anything, or close to nothing. But it seems the bigger the accessories, the bigger the party. Brazil's annual Carnival showcases some of the best that dancing and costumes have to offer. While most comes off, nothing is off limits. And while traditionally the event marks the beginning of Lent, it's all in the name of having a great time.
I think for today, it's only joy. That's why I'm here, to have fun.
Some dance sports and their accessories are more rigid than others. But don't be fooled by the modern pole, whichever way you want to look at it.
Male pole dancing, I think, is going to be something that's going to be very big and very exciting because as soon as we get past the idea that it has to be stripping, once it's past that, then I think there's a lot of amazing things, it works.
When one thinks of dancing, it's more often than not tutus and ballet shoes that take center stage. But Hollywood can take much of the kudos for making stars out of dancers or dance movies out of stars. Take two of the most famous dancers of all time. The top box office hit that was Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. Together they made 10 movies between 1933 and 1949. One scene in their 1936 hit Swing Time took 47 takes to perfect. And the movie is regarded by many as having some of the greatest dancing in history. Let's face it, whichever way you dance, there's no doubting how good it makes us feel. Coming up, tutus, dancing shoes, and man's best friend. Punctuated with pirouettes, tutus, and pointy shoes, is the beautiful dance of ballet. The word comes from the French and was borrowed into English around the 17th century. The French word, in turn, has its origins in the Italian ballare, meaning to dance. In fact, the term ballerina means female dancer in Italian. Her male counterpart is a ballerino. And the most famous ballet dancers would have to be Russian Anna Pavlova and Mikhail Baryshnikov of Latvia. Born in 1881, Pavlova is most recognized for the creation of the role The Dying Swan. And with her own company, became the first ballerina to tour the world. Born nearly 70 years later, Baryshnikov, affectionately known as Misha, studied ballet in Pavlova's hometown of Leningrad, now known as St. Petersburg, before moving to the US and playing a key role in popularizing ballet in the 70s and 80s. The actual word dance sport denotes competitive ballroom dancing, in contrast to social or exhibition dancing, and the name was invented to help competitive ballroom dancing gain Olympic recognition. Ballroom dancing is a partnered activity with a male and female counterpart. Over the years, competitive ballroom dancing, which can also include other dance, such as the tango and the waltz, to name a few, has evolved so much in its choreography, high levels of athleticism are required. The physical demand of dance sport has even been the subject of scientific research, with results indicating that competitive dancing is equally as demanding as sports like basketball and cross-country running. Which leads us to the Olympics. And yes, after a long campaign, the international governing body, the World Dance Sport Federation, was recognized by the International Olympic Committee in 1997. Decades later, dance sport is still yet to make its debut on the world's biggest stage. It doesn't stop competitors, however, taking their sport very seriously. Competitive dancing has become so popular, it has spun off dancing shows around the world. The biggest hit being Dancing with the Stars. However, being a star is one thing. Being able to dance or having two left feet is another. And part of the fun of the competition is the random allocation of partners with each professional dancer.
There's always a bit of gossip, and there's always like people going, "Oh, I heard this one's really good. Oh, I heard that one's really good." But you never really know until you see like them dance. So I try not to worry about it. I don't worry about it too much until the competition actually starts. So well, we shall see in a few weeks.
Adding an extra degree of difficulty is wheelchair dancing, whereby at least one of the partners must be sitting down.
Dance is open to any kind of body. It allows us to show our deepness and to feel completely free. As a message, it is totally liberating and motivating. And they are nice sensations to live.
Competitive dancing is not just the domain of humans. Man's best friend has taken a leap onto the dance floor with an American musical canine freestyle, bringing together nearly thousands of dog and owner teams every year.
I thought it was a lot of fun. It was my first time competing, and I just went in there and tried to have fun with my dog, and I think we did that, right, Kip?
While the dogs can have a howl of a time, it can definitely take people out of their comfort zone.
The irony is that I don't wear makeup at all, normally.
We have people from Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania who've come to dance with their dogs and hopefully do well and acquire points so that they can get titles and move up the ranks. But mostly, I think people are here because it is so much fun to do.
Like horse racing and other forms of competitive animal sport, dog dancing is run under strict guidelines, regulating the health and fitness of each canine. Organizers haven't officially approached the International Olympic Committee to join the world's most talented equines on the biggest sporting stage, but who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Competitive standards are on the rise, and maybe traditional rhythmic gymnastics could have a challenger on its hands.
This has changed so much from the beginning. If you look at the level of the competitions, the level of the routines, the difficulty and the skills and the things that they're out there doing, they have raised the bar, way beyond what it was when we first started.
3 cheers to that. Cheerleading, Long the domain of men's football, and for nearly as long, debate has swirled as to whether it is a sport. Cheerleading is defined as the performance of athletic skills, jumps, dance, and/or chanting to gain a response from spectators at an event, whether this is in support of a sports team or simply to score points in a cheerleading competition. The dance originated in the United States, but by 1997, cheerleading competitions were being broadcast on ESPN International, taking the sport to millions worldwide.
Man, it's a dream come true. Every girl sees cheerleaders in the movies. It's a dream to be a cheerleader. And it's also important because cheerleaders from the Miami Dolphins and from the other teams in general do more than just dancing. They meet kids, participate in social projects, and that's very important because it combines what you'd like to do with the publicity you have by being a cheerleader with something good that you can do for people.
Yet for decades, much debate has swirled around cheerleading as to whether it is officially a sport. Those in favor are adamant it ticks all the boxes, as defined by the US Women's Sport Foundation. It must be a physical activity, which involves propelling a mass through space or overcoming the resistance of mass, tick. Contesting or competing against or with an opponent, tick. It must be governed by rules, tick. And the primary purpose of the competition is a comparison of the relative skills of the participants, which can be judged. Sometimes tick. As to whether this man's dance was a sport, who's going to argue? From humble beginnings as Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. to the greatest heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Muhammad Ali added dancing to his repertoire when he stepped into the ring.
You tell Joe Woods, Sonny Liston, that I'm here with Sugar Ray. Joe Woods was fat-footed, and Sonny Liston is fat-footed. Sugar Ray and I are two pretty dancers. We can't be.
While not officially dancing, Ali rumbled in the jungle and held the world at his feet as he performed the Ali Shuffle time and time again, taunting his opponents as he floated across the canvas, confusing the opposing boxer until his guard was down and landed the knockout blow. Coming up, the Battle of the Streets. In 1969, the godfather of soul, James Brown, was giving birth to a new dance craze. His hit, Get on the Good Foot, had kids in the Bronx breakdancing, a battle of dance known as b-boying or breaking that has become part of the phenomena that is hip-hop dancing and spread worldwide.
When people said Korean b-boy, a certain style came to mind. But now there are lots of different styles. I think this shows the culture has developed and evolved.
We've taken our music, some of our cultural things, and incorporated it into what we do. And that's given motivation to a lot of other people to kind of dig deep into who they are and what they are and their backgrounds. And, again, break the mold, break the stereotypes of the boundaries of what we are allowed to do with the dance.
Taking breakdancing another step further is the team from Red Bull. They came up with their own dance sport called Kick It, the world's premier kicking competition, bringing together disciplines as diverse as breakdancing, taekwondo, kung fu, capoeira, karate, and gymnastics. Born out of the idea that tricking had become too focused on simple gymnastic moves like flipping, Red Bull decided to put more emphasis on taekwondo jump kicks, hence the name. The first competition was held in 2015 in Seoul, Korea, and saw 16 of the planet's best kickers battle head-to-head to find out who has the best kicks and tricks. Each competitor has to compete in 2 rounds. the first showcasing their tricks, and the second, their creative ability to break boards with their feet. Highlighting the more creative way of how to break a board. Following these dramatic displays, a champion is crowned. Somewhere in the middle of traditional dance and the more modern-day street dance is pole dancing. Although with its sleazy history, many would say it stands in a world of its own. Yet despite often associated with nightclubs and strippers, there is a non-sleazy side to this sliding, twisting, turning, mostly upside-down dance that combines incredible strength, flexibility, acrobatics, and endurance. In fact, there is even an international pole dancing championship. The idea was conceived by Anna Presplasko in an effort to shed the somewhat underground, under-attire image associated with the sport. Competitors are placed into two categories, pole fit and pole art, with the person accumulating the highest total score from both categories crowned the ultimate pole champion.
If we determine a pole art champion award, it's for somebody who, of course, with high technical skills using a pole, can make a show using a choreography and telling us a story. The story is very important and the way how it has been executed. In pole fit category, we're looking for the most difficult tricks. So somebody who creates new trick, it's very difficult in terms of perform this trick is a pole fit.
The use of a pole for sports and exercise has been traced back at least 800 years to the traditional Indian sport of Malakam. In the 1920s, traveling circuses and sideshows would pole dance using the pole in the middle of the big top. Eventually, pole dancing moved from tents to bars and combined with the burlesque dance. The earliest recorded pole dance was in the US in 1968, with a performance by Belle Jangles at a strip club in Oregon. It's since come a long way, with men also competing, and Presplasko believing it has the potential to become an Olympic sport.
Because it does helping you with stamina, it does helping you with being healthy and fit. It is sport for me, and because it has such a follow and support and so many fans, this is what determines sport to be international sport. So if people want to see pole dancing in Olympics, why not?
We already have the Pole Olympics. There's even a World Cup, the first held in Brazil in 2011, with $35,000 in prize money on offer.
I love this event. I am in Brazil for the second time already. I like the way everything is organized. I like to dance, like to do shows. I find this atmosphere simply really cool.
And like any craze, it usually makes its way to Hollywood. In 1993, Madonna's world tour, The Girly Show, began with a dance on a go-go pole before Madonna herself performed Erotica. In fact, this dance sport is so popular, there's even a rumor making the rounds that sporty mum of two, Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, took pole dancing lessons to keep in shape after the birth of Prince George and Princess Charlotte. Truth or lie, Olympics or not, there's no doubt pole dancing has come a long way. But there's no doubt dancing has always punctuated the Olympics. Whether it be part of winning the right to host the Games, auditioning to be part of the opening ceremony, the actual opening or closing ceremonies, going for gold, or after one wins the ultimate sporting prize.
It is party, party, party.
Dance has even made stars out of choreographers.
Really happy to be part of the team, and also emotionally also. It's big things in my life also. I will try to do what I can to make that work as good as possible and to import my thoughts.
And then there's the superstars.
30 years old now, Mr. Mayers.
They survived.
But still shiny.
It's very shiny.
There they are.
World, Olympic, European and British champions Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean are perhaps the shiniest of the stars. The pair became the highest-scoring figure skaters of all time, receiving 12 perfect sixes at the Sarajevo 1984 Winter Olympics. After turning professional and earning millions of dollars performing worldwide, Torvill and Dean both turned their hand to coaching. Knowing full well the secret to their sustained success will be in continuing to promote the sport they made their own.
This was launched in sort of 2006, where children from London schools and in the area can come and join the skate school and have tuition. And there's very qualified coaches here that can help them. And from projects like this, hopefully we'll get some champions of the future. This is just the beginning, really.
From the happy pair to the pair that are poles apart. Could there ever be a bigger battle for the #1 spot than the legendary clash between American figure skating champions Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan? Kerrigan, the sweet and innocent ice queen from Massachusetts, versus Harding, her win at all costs Portland rival.
For someone to try and take it away from me, and by doing such heinous things, you know, I mean, I don't understand why people can be that way, and I never will. But I just couldn't let go. I mean, that was me, that was mine.
Now, with Tonya, from the moment of the whack heard around the world on January 6, 1994, everything changed. People were talking about figure skating at the water cooler. Men with cigars in their hands were talking about figure skating at poker games. It became mainstream. That's why it is the second most popular sport on television to the National Football League in our country right now. It sounds amazing. People can't believe it, but it's true.
Coming up, Coco Bayano. If there ever was a heartbeat dance beat, it would have to be the samba, the dance with its roots in Africa that has become the traditional dance of Brazil. National Samba Day is celebrated annually on the 2nd of December. But it seems every day is a samba day when the Brazilians are playing sport. Whether four-legged or two, and not necessarily sporting the famous Brazilian colors, the Brazilians will support their team. You will often find a samba train on the way to a game. And while football superstars, the likes of Pelé, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and Neymar, have collectively danced on the pitch for decades, dazzling billions worldwide with their exquisite foot skills and post-goal celebrations, so ingrained is the samba in the blood of most Brazilians, they don't need their national heroes to ignite this spontaneous dance.
We don't care about Ronaldo. We just want to party.
Some thought the same could be said for the youngest superstar and perhaps the best dancer of the quartet, Neymar. While many questioned whether he was fit to captain his side at a home Olympics due to his conduct both on and off the pitch, the 5'9" dribbling magician opened the scoring in the gold medal match against Germany with a free kick in the first half. The game finished 1-1 after Max Meyer equalized, but Neymar once again stepped up to the plate, slotting the winning ball into the back of the net to beat the Germans 5-4 on penalties and send the entire nation into a victory dance. Not all who wear beads and dance to the beat are Brazilian. Traditional dance, especially in Africa, is often associated with sport, like these Maasai cricket warriors from Kenya. The World Indigenous Games, also known as the Indigenous Olympics, includes native dance. The Games are governed by the Intertribal Council, a Brazilian indigenous peoples NGO, with the first edition held in 2015.
Experience has been unexplainable. I can't really explain with enough words how these games have gone, and I'm still overwhelmed by it now. But I've enjoyed every moment. I've enjoyed meeting new people, seeing new cultures.
The games like ours did not have a place to be shown to the world, and we could not share experiences with other countries. So the Indigenous Games are a great opportunity for those people who were always separated from traditional sports.
You can dance in front of judges, you can dance on a stage, you can dance after winning, and you can dance to get paid. Dance sports encompass many different genres, many different ages, many different beats, and can be found worldwide. So whether you win or lose, whatever your attire and whatever your style, dance is a sport for everyone. And that is the truth.